talked about something else. So today I'll be talking about a topic I know everybody is eager to know. What does this topic mean? The true meaning of your weight and what you can do about it. So I'm going to explain that and in a very simple way, explain what your weight means and the practical steps you can take to do something about it. So I'll just start by sharing my screen so you can see my slides. Okay. All right. So hope you can all see my slides.
Yes.
Okay, great. So yes, the true meaning of your weight and what you can do about it. I think you can see the woman here. She's also thinking like the rest of you are thinking like, what can I do on my weight and what does this doctor mean? So I'll start with a short story. Basically, two friends, think of anybody, two friends can weigh 100 kilograms and one friend will be healthy and the other will not be healthy. And you'll be wondering why. After I told them 100 kg and 100 kg seems like a lot of weight for anybody anyway. So how can someone be 100 kilograms and be healthy and the other person is 100 kilograms too and person isn't healthy? Have you ever wondered why that is? If you look at the picture I have here, you can see two women. You can see a very tall, slim woman and a shorter but a big on the bit side woman. And it's a clear example of why two people can weigh the same thing but may have different implications for you. So basically, weight is more than just a figure. Okay, you are 100 kg. What does that really mean? We have to take in different metrics to be able to tell you what your weight or the implication of your weight to your health and to your overall well-being. And for these two friends weighing 100 kg, it means very different things for two of them based on some things I'll be discussing. But first, I would like to just break it down a bit. So what is weight? If you were a science student, if you went to science class, you'd have gotten different definitions of weight, but I'll keep it simple. It's just the amount of heaviness, the amount or quantity of heaviness or mass. So basically, it's how heavy you are. An interesting fact is, if you're overweight, it may just be that you're on the wrong planet. Because, if you weigh 100 kilograms on Earth, you weigh about 38 kilograms on Mars. So maybe you're not overweight. Maybe you're just on the wrong planet if you think about it. So next time someone tells you you're overweight, just remember that somewhere in the universe, you are not overweight. In fact, somewhere in the universe, you need to add more weight, like Mars. And that's because of the gravitational pull, of course. But entering more serious matters, to be able to interpret your weight correctly, the amount of heaviness in your body or the amount of heaviness your body attracts, we need to do something called we need to use something called body mass index. So it's a measure of body fat based on your height and your weight, and it applies to men and women. We mostly use it for adults. Now, coming back to this, our initial picture of two women. Now, remember that in the BMI story, now we've said we are using the height and the weight, not just the weight alone. So you can now see why two people can be 100 kilograms, or it may mean different things for them. Why? Because of their height as well. Because a 100 kg person that is about 7 foot tall and 7 feet tall, and a 100 kg person that is about 5 feet tall. And let's say most women, average height for most women is around 5 feet 4 inches. So it gives you an idea. If two of them are 100 kg, you can see how different the distribution will be. This tall lady, she may be 100 kg, but because of her height, you can't really see the effect of that weight on her. While this other lady, about 5'4", and you can see how she looks so plump. And it's not really a function of just the weight alone. It's also about the height, like I've said already today. So we use the body mass index. It's a measure of the body fat, like I said, and we basically calculate it using your weight in kilograms over your height in meters squared. So it means your weight in kilograms. If you weigh 100 kg and then your height, by the time you convert it from feet and inches to meters, so maybe you're like you weigh 100 kg and your height is, let's say 1 meter. Of course, you're not 1 meter. Most people will be at least 1.5 and above, and your height is like 1 meter. So you divide it by that 1 meter twice. You understand? There's a calculator here that would show us how we do it as well. So this is in centimeters. So you convert these centimeters to meters. That's 1.75 centimeters. So the weight of this person is 75 kg. If you have a calculator with you, you can quickly do the maths. So you divide 75 by 1.75 and by 1.75 again. So you will get this person's BMI. And why we call it the body mass index is a great way of knowing that based on this person's height, you should ideally weigh this amount of kilograms for you to stay healthy. Once you weigh more than this amount of kilograms or less than this amount of kilograms based on your height, then it becomes unhealthy. You know why we are using the height as a static measure? Because you see, your weight will fluctuate as you grow. Most people are 3 kg, 3.5 kg when they're born. And by the time you're an adult, you are around 60, 70, 80 kg. So you see, your height will fluctuate through life, but your weight will fluctuate through life, but your height is most likely going to be static once you've attained adulthood. Once you're a young adult, for women, it happens earlier. For men, it happens a bit later. But most likely between 21, around 21 or so, everybody would have achieved their full height, meaning by the time you're 30, you're not growing tall again. Your height is your height. You just have to accept it. So that's why we use the height as an indicator, because it tells us how much weight should this person have based on this person's height. Now, we have a metric. It's not just enough to just calculate your BMI. We have to be able to interpret it for you. Now, just to help those that are just joining us to follow, what we've done is we've defined what weight is. We've told a story of like two different people weighing 100 kg and how two people can weigh the same thing, but it can mean very different things. I'm seeing the comments. Somebody said, I want to grow tall. If you are already, you've already achieved adulthood, you are above 21 and above, I don't see you growing tall again, but who knows? You can pray. There's nothing impossible for God to do, have you? So, but really, back to it. So we've defined how two people can be 100 kilograms and it will mean different things for them based on not just their weight alone, but their height. And now I've also shown you how you can calculate your BMI. It's basically your weight in kilograms over your height times your height. So weight over height times height. So height squared. I don't want to bore us with too many mathematical terms. So back to interpreting what the BMI means for you. So for your BMI, if your BMI is less than 18.5, you are underweight. If your BMI is between 18.5 to 24.9, then you are within what we call the normal weight. If your BMI is between 25 to 29.9, now you are overweight. But by the time your BMI is above 30 and above, you're already obese. So even within these obese, we still have categories. For people that are from 35 and above, we call it extremely obese. And we still have morbidly obese and all of that. So basically, what we are saying is, by the time your BMI is looking like some people's age, there's a problem. Let me put it that way. Or by the time your BMI is competing with your age, let me put it that way, especially if you are, say, above 30, and your BMI is competing with your age already, or you're in your 20s, you know that's, okay, there's something wrong. Let's say you are 25 and your BMI is 25 with you. It's a sign that, okay, you should start doing some things to adjust because you really don't want to be the same age. Your BMI, your age will be dragging for the same space. We really don't want that, because looking at these figures now, let's say your BMI is 35 and you are 35, you are obese, and it's not really ideal for you. So you want to take steps. Somebody is asking me to off my mic. I'm sorry, I just have to explain it to you so that you understand, because when you say, oh, I'm 60 kg, it doesn't mean anything. But by the time you begin to take it through these steps that I've outlined today, your weight begins to take on a new meaning for you. You know that, okay, with your weight, when you use your height, You understand what your weight means. You'll also be able to interpret your weight based on this BMI scale. So between 18.5 to 24.9 is where everybody should be targeting. That's where you really want to be. Even if you are going to, for some reason, tip over to being overweight, 25, if you keep it 25, 26, by the time you are going too high, then there's a problem. I'm not preaching for you to be comfortable with 25 or 26, because especially when you are young, when you're in your 30s and 40s, you know, I usually tell people that by the time you are 20 or 30, you are 30 and your BMI is already 24. There's a problem. Why is there a problem? Because you're still young and you're already pushing the upper limit of what is normal. And you are just going to add weight as you grow older, because as you grow older, your metabolism rate will slow down. Every other thing will slow down. You find it difficult to shed weight. You find out that it will be harder for you to shed weight the way you used to be able to shed weight when you were younger. So if you're already pushing the upper limits, 24, and you're young, you're not safe, because it means that down the line, give or take another 10 years, you'd have added more weight. And what will happen? You will move from normal to overweight. And that's how people move. From overweight, you carry yourself to obese. From obese, you carry yourself to extremely obese. And then it becomes a problem. And so, what does your weight really mean? If you're overweight, what's the big deal? After all, we live in a country where having big bellies is a sign of good living, Abi. For many people, when they see pot belly, they'll be like, yes, as a well-fed person. But science has shown that pot bellies are dangerous. They're dangerous to your health. Being overweight is dangerous to your health. You're at risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, you are increasing your risk of stroke, you're increasing your risk of cardiovascular accidents and heart attacks, you're increasing your risk of even cancer, because with some research recently has indicated that being overweight also increases your risk of cancer as well. You are subjecting your body to more stress. Let's put it this way. Like we said earlier, your height is fixed, Abi. You can't change your height. And let's say for your body frame, you are maybe 5'6", for your body frame, because even the human body is optimized beyond certain conditions, the human body will begin to break down. Do you understand? So even for your body, you have what we call an optimal weight, and an optimal weight for your body, based on your height, based on your lifestyle. There's, let's say, an ideal weight you should try to maintain or keep a range of, because you want to stay healthy. By the time you are pushing that ideal weight, what begins to happen to you? You are at risk of coming down with illnesses. You're at risk of even looking older than your age. And for those here that have maybe had the pleasure of maybe having one or two conversations with me, I would have probably told you something around, and you can see two 60-year-old men or women working together, and there will be a stark difference in how they look or how they seem. And it's simple. Beyond genetics, there's a very important place that your lifestyle, your weights, your lifestyle choices play in how you age as well. So aging is not just about genetics alone. It's about also how the kind of life you live, and even your weights. Because if you're on the bigger side, you're putting your body through more stress. Let's say ideally, the way God has made you, for your body frame, 60 kilograms is okay. If you want to push it at all, 65, you can still, the body is still managing. But because you are living good in Nigeria, if you are well fed, then you push from 65, that is the ideal weight for your body frame. You're pushing to like 80 kg. You can see now that you're putting your body under more stress to even maintain and keep things running. And that more stress will eventually show up in even the way you age as well, and your predisposition to illnesses also. So if you're underweight too, you're not left out, because being overweight is not good, but being underweight is not good either. When you're underweight, you are at risk of even falling ill more often. You are also, let's say, your immune system may also be weaker, because you're probably not eating well, you're not eating the right things in the right proportion as well. So being underweight is also not the best. Being overweight is not good. So you want to be somewhere in the middle. Moderation is the best in everything in this life. Too much of everything is not good. And sometimes too little of everything is not good. So you want to have just enough, just the right quantity. And to be able to have the right quantity, what can you do? What can you do to have the right quantity? Because it's very easy to come and talk about the problems, but I would not be fair to you if I've talked about problems or how to interpret your weight, because I'm sure a couple of us on the call now, you know that, okay, I'm 65 kg. Based on this 65 kg, what's my height? Then you check your height. Maybe you've checked your height before. And you're trying to calculate your BMI, and you can share your BMI results with us. For those that have gotten it, you can share it here. Don't worry. You can send it to me privately if you don't want everyone to see it. You can click on look for my name and send it to me privately so that we can comment on some of the BMIs that people have gotten here as well. So what you can do about your weight first is to track it regularly. I have a close friend that doesn't like to check her weight. So if I'm like, oh, so what's your weight now? I don't know. I don't want to check. I mean, what you don't check, what you don't know will not harm you, Abi. But it's dangerous too, because that way, if you're not tracking your weights, if you're running away from the truth is not going to run away. The truth is just there waiting for you. When you run, you will come back and meet it, right? So it's good to start by tracking your weight regularly at home. So you can check your weight at home. What we have here is our Life Pro scale. It does more than just check your weight. Of course, it will give you different parameters, percentage fat, it gives you your BMI. It works with our application. It gives you your BMI. It also gives you your best weight, the amount of fat, the amount of water, and then it tells you your best weight versus your current weight. So you know this is what I should do, and this is the kind of weight I should be aiming for. So it's a mini body composition analysis machine. We have the fuller version in our wellness check that we do. But you can use something like this at home to check your weight regularly at home, track your progress, check, okay, my body fat is going down as I'm taking this step or that step. So with this kind of thing, you can use it to track your weight regularly at home, which is important because when you are tracking your weight, you're able to know if you're making progress, if you're not making progress, what adjustments you need to make along the way, or if you're even doing it so much and you need to slow down a bit and add some weight. So you can start by tracking your weight regularly at home. If you've not checked your weight this year, I just want to tell you that you are wrong and you should check your weight. So please, just after this now, you can just hurry, get the mini body composition scale and check your weight at home and begin to take the active steps, because knowledge is power and ignorance is not always bliss. In this case, when it comes to your health, ignorance is definitely not bliss. So the next step you can take is, okay, someone is complaining about the network. Can you hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me. Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm still waiting for people that are telling me they can hear me to share their BMI with me. I can see your names, so share your BMI before I finish. So let's start with the other things you can do beyond tracking your weight regularly. So you can also develop a weight loss / maintenance plan. Now I've put okay. So someone is asking me to repeat the calculation. So so let me quickly repeat the calculation. Let me also project it before I'm almost done anyway. So your body mass index, your BMI, is calculated using your weight in kilograms over your height in meters. So your height in, so I've from Tokwe is putting rules. So your weight in kilograms over your height in meters squared. So you can use that now to calculate your weight. So don't say the calculation is the excuse. Send it to me privately so that everybody will not see your BMI. Then we can look at your BMI and then you know where you fall based on whatever results you've gotten. So apart from tracking your weight regularly, someone is saying that I don't know my weight, but I don't have a scale, but I'm visibly. But I think after this, when Farm Temitope takes over, she will also shed some light on some of the things that you can do as well. I'll do that also while talking. So you can also develop a weight loss or maintenance plan. Now I've said weight loss or maintenance because not every time, it's not always about losing weight. Sometimes you just want to maintain what you have at the moment. Okay, I'm comfortable with this weight. How can I maintain it long term? But to do that, you first need to know your current weight. Like someone now that has said, oh, I don't know my current, I don't know my current weight. So if I don't know my current weight, so you need to first at least know your weight to start with. And then you'd also need to know your height. So you can see there's a machine on the right side of my screen and just a lady standing and holding something. And so with this machine, we call it body composition analysis. We can calculate your BMI. So we know your current weight, we know your height, we calculate your BMI. We also know where your BMI falls on the scale. We'll know how, we'll not just tell you, okay, your BMI is this, you're overweight, and then we let you go. We go a step further by telling you, okay, this is how much weight you need to lose to stay healthy. Okay, your BMI is, say, 36.9, for instance. If you're able to lose 20 kg over the course of 30 weeks, you are going to be able to stay healthy. And then we give you further advice on how you can take steps to ensure that you're able to lose this weight. So for those sharing your body mass index with me, if you've not done a test like this, it's also a good place to start. And thankfully with Green Monday, we're able to actually access this kind of tests that is on offer at Life Pro, and then you can easily do a full body composition check, know your current weight, know where your BMI falls on the scale, know how much weight you need to lose to stay healthy, and then you get advice on how to lose that weight as well. So this is like a bit of, this is like a sample of what it will look like when you've done that test the lady was standing on. So you see your BMI, you can see there's a scale, you can see there's a scale underweight. This person is overweight. In fact, this person is obese, not just overweight. So you can see the scale under, normal, over. And then you see the degree of obesity. It gives us your abdominal circumference. Now, these are some interesting parameters that we doctors use to make health decisions, or advise people on what to do about their health, your waist hip ratio. And then we also look at something that is very important. Let's see if I can get my pointer to be able to show you something. So something, all right. So can you see my mouse? I don't know if you can see my mouse moving. So I'm actually looking at the weight. So the person's weight is 212 pounds, and converting it to kilograms, roughly 100 and say 5 or so kilograms. And we want this person to lose this amount of weight, about 61 pounds, roughly about 30 kg, to be able to go down to the target weight of about, this is like roughly 74, 75 kg. This is in pounds, so I'm doing the rough conversion to kilograms. So basically, this is like what that test will do for you, is it will show you your target, your current weight, and then this is your target weight. This is how much weight you need to lose, and then how much time you have to lose it, because we don't have to be ridiculous or unreasonable when it comes to weight loss matters, because honestly, losing weight is hard. Losing weight is hard. Weight is one of those things that it's easy to gather and it's tough to lose. It's very easy to gather weight. You don't need to do much. Just eat, rest. Don't expend your energy a lot. You are going to just be gathering the weight. But to lose it, you need to put in a lot of effort. So someone is telling me that she weighed what she weighed before she got married, and I'm sure that's not what she weighs now, because over time you're going to add that weight. You don't need to make any effort to add weight. You just need to eat. Sometimes as little as eating is enough for you to add the weight you need to add. But you have to be mindful, and to lose it can take time. That's why, for instance, we are saying for this person to lose about 30 kg, to take a year is 52 weeks. And we are saying to take about 56 weeks. That's more than a year, because it is difficult to lose weight, but it's not impossible. It's just that it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of effort that many of us are not exactly very used to, and our lifestyles may not also permit us. So beyond doing these tests, so you've gotten a weighing scale at home, you can check your weight regularly, you've done the full body composition analysis test, Thankfully, Green Mondays can give you access to it through our through the wellness plans that Green Monday also partners with us at Dr. Connect. So Green Monday can give you access to this body composition analysis check that would give you your current weight, your BMI on the scale, how much weight you have to lose, something like what I have here, amongst other things, of course. And then you can also take definite action based on whatever results you've gotten in terms of exercise, in terms of eating healthy, in terms of developing a healthy lifestyle. Because, you know, these are the three very crucial things you can do, honestly, to actually lose weight, amongst other things. But these are three of the very key components and key steps you need to take. Exercise. For instance, WHO would recommend that you do 30 minutes of moderate physical activity. To translate it, 30 minutes of something like brisk walking 5 times a week in order to at least stay healthy, and then you can lose weight in that way. I was talking to someone the other day, a colleague at work, and we're just talking about how many steps. And interestingly, I was looking at my own. I'm even falling behind because at least I should be taking between 5,000 and 6,000 steps in a day. But as of that yesterday, I'd only done like 2,600 and something. So if you take enough steps, if you increase your level of physical activity through moderate activity like brisk walking. Now, brisk walking is not that you're strolling. Brisk walking is you walk as if you are, when you're rushing somewhere, when you're late somewhere, you know how we walk. It's different from when you're just strolling. So that's what we can call brisk walking. So you do that for 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. If you can increase it, it's good. But brisk walking is a great way. If you can take up jogging too, fantastic. If you can join a gym, wonderful. But it may not be easy to do these things within your own daily lifestyle. So I always tell people you should adapt for your environment. For instance, instead of looking for where to walk, you know, Lagos, let me not say Lagos is not safe, but these places are not really safe now. And you don't want to be walking around at night, and in the process of trying to lose weight, you lose your phone or you lose the money that you've gathered in your account. So you can even do the brisk walking in your home. If you have stairs, you can walk up the stairs, walk down the stairs, walk up the stairs, walk down the stairs. Do it enough times that you begin to sweat. You feel like your heart pumping. You feel, and I can tell you something, and you can take this to the bank and cash it. Just tell them, if you can take it to the bank and cash it. If you exercise regularly, you're going to feel different in your body. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to feel healthier. You're going to feel lighter. You feel like you can really move your body. If you're in your 50s and 60s, you need to feel like I'm 40 again, because moving your body, the human body was not made to just sit in a chair and press a laptop or computer for more than 8-9 hours in a day. Our ancestors used to trek. I'm sure we all know, maybe our parents or our grandparents will tell you about how they trekked from Ijebu to Oyo, or from one far distance that's just ridiculous now. When I'm not suffering, why would I be trekking from Maryland to Oshodi? Am I looking for something? But that kind of lifestyle, while it was hectic, it helped them to also stay healthy. And that's why you see how many people those days used to be overweight. Most of them were always fit, lean, fit, because of the kind of lifestyle they led. So exercise is important. What you eat is also important. And I always say that weight loss is not a destination. So it's not my target weight is 60 kg. Once I get to that 60 kg, it is finished. No, weight loss is a lifestyle. So it means if your target weight is 60 kg, when you get to that 60 kg, you're going to continue that lifestyle, not just because you want to continue losing weight, but because you want to stay healthy. So weight loss or weight maintenance is a lifestyle. If you take on that habit, it means if you started doing the physical brisk walking for 30 minutes every day, even when you hit your target weight, you continue to do it. If you started eating healthier, eating more vegetables and fruits and everything, even when you hit your target weight, you won't go back to eating anyhow. You have to continue it because it becomes a lifestyle. If not, whatever weight you have lost, you are going to gain it back. And it's so important to note that if you try to lose weight through shortcuts, you are going to gain that weight back if you don't take the right steps to ensure that it's not just about the target, which is getting to your target weight, but also adopting a whole different lifestyle. Because you know what? Your weight today is a result of the life you've led for the past maybe 10, 20 years. If you are 100 kg today, it's a result of the choices, the kind of food, kind of lifestyle you've led over the past years. So if you are now deciding, if you decide to just, okay, let me change, force this lifestyle for a while, get to my target weight and resume what I used to do, you're going to add that weight back over time. So I think at this point, I have been able to give you a lot of information, and I've been able to explain to you what your weight really means, how to interpret your weight based on BMI, and the kind of steps you can take to ensure that you are also healthy. So if you have any questions for me, just let me know. Thank you.